I don't even have anything pulled up at all. I don't even have my stuff plugged in. That would probably be the first step, so that way you guys can hear the music. I'll be able to hear the music, but you won't. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin, and today we are listening to Hawkwind with their song Assault and Battery / The Golden Void. This is off of their album Warrior on the Edge of Time, released in 1975. You guys have been asking for Hawkwind for the longest time. It just took me a while, to be honest. I kind of forget about certain bands after a while. Certain requests don't always stick in my mind until I write them down or I take a screenshot of the actual comments. But this time, I'm remembering Hawkwind. You guys have been waiting. I'm happy to oblige. Happy to finally bring it to you. I have never heard of Hawkwind. I think that when I first heard the band name mentioned in the comments, my idea of Hawkwind was like a power metal band. So I think in my mind I just kind of put them off, just kind of put them off a little bit. But I heard a lot of people say they are basically like space rock or something along those lines. So that'd be interesting. I also see that this album is the last one to feature their bassist, Ian Lemmy Kilmister, who we know from Motorhead. Let's jump into the song. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. You can join me on Twitter. You can join me in the comments down below. This was one of the songs that came up most in the actual request, even though there were tons of others. Like, everyone had a certain song that they picked. But let's get into it. Like I said, you can join me on Twitter. You can join me in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that. This is Assault and Battery / The Golden Void by Hawkwind. Let's see what the Hawk is bringing. For a first listen from the first time that I've heard of this band, that's interesting. That definitely gets my attention. Definitely wasn't expecting some of what I got in there. Specifically, I wasn't expecting like so much other like instruments besides the typical. For example, as we heard and as I see here, Nick Turner, who's playing the flute and the saxophone on this one, really interesting. Definitely didn't expect that, especially from what I heard of the first like few minutes and the way that it set it up. Really like those hard guitar riffs. The bass is very heavy on this one. The vocals, gotta be honest, wasn't really in love with them. Not my favorite thing on the song, but structure-wise, it's interesting because obviously, according to the title and from what is easily heard, it's basically two songs kind of put together, and they really do feel distinct from each other, which I like because the first part of the song, Assault and Battery, not Robbery, Assault and Battery, just Assault and Battery, it was an interesting setup and a great opener because it's like that energetic, heavy opener to get your attention and to get you in the mood for the rest of the music and the album. It does its job very well. It gets your attention. There's a lot of interesting elements that are kind of sporadically thrown in there, like the flute, and overall it has a really nice, spacey and yet heavy and dense sound. Whereas the second half of the song, The Golden Void, opens up like a golden void and introduces you to a lot more of the spaciness and the atmosphere that I would imagine you would expect from the band. I love this intro with the bass and the mellotron. That's great. Listen, two of my favorite instruments off the bat, you've already crossed them off the list. I'm happy. But I love how the mellotron gives you this orchestral kind of symphonic sound all at the fingertips, right? Like, you don't need an orchestra if you have that. And here they make great use of it. They actually use it throughout, as far as I can tell, pretty much all the song. Getting a little bit of flute, that's cool. I like how they set you up. They really give you some expectations of what to expect. Not in love with the chorus, especially. I'll admit, I have zero interest in the chorus. Human anatomy. I don't know, it just sounds stilted. It sounds weird. I'm not in love with the singer's voice in either part of the song. It does its job, I suppose. I would like to hear like some more from him. Does he have any more songs where, I don't want to say he sounds better because that's rude, but you know, maybe where he showcases his vocals a little bit more. Because I didn't really like I don't know, it just has a weird, I don't know, it's just not my thing. And then we have some more interesting notes over here. Of course, the bass just doing a solid job of leading, but then the flute in here. I like those spacey sounds. I would imagine that's keyboards, the sounds that are just kind of washing over the song. Wow, wow. Like, that's pretty cool. I like that. I don't like the first half of the song in the sense that it doesn't change really at all structurally, you know, or rhythmically rather. It just kind of stays at the same pace. There's a few moments where the drums drop out, and you know, there's a little more space for the other instruments like the flute and stuff. And that's cool, that's nice. I just like a little bit more of like, I don't know, changes within the music. It was very samey, and I got kind of bored of that same pattern after a while. Now, I do like the transition within the song, and how those riffs from the first half kind of metamorphosize. I imagine he's probably changing the guitar effect, and they kind of shift into something a little more spacey and a little more kind of abstract. That's why I like the second half just a little bit more. It seems more interesting. And even though I still don't love his singing in here, it seems a little bit more manageable to perhaps what he can do. And this is cool. That way that the riff comes in, that's solid. I really like the second part a lot more. It just feels like more unique, and it feels like they're more comfortable in their space that they're creating the music in. Mixing together those cosmic melodies and, you know, the spacey sounds, but with those hard-hitting riffs and the powerful drumming. And then we have this really high-pitched keyboard work going on here, which at first, honestly, I thought was like theremin or something. And now, looking back, it doesn't really sound anything like one, but it was just, you know, first listen. But I think that's interesting. So they have this interesting space that they're allowed to play in. And I like that. I may not love the song on a first listen, but it definitely gets me interested into the rest of the album, perhaps more songs from them. So I'm definitely up for more suggestions because I did enjoy overall their sound. And the lyrics, which I was following along with, but I wasn't really like reading along with them. Lives of great men all remind us we may make our lives sublime. And departing leave behind us footprints in the sands of time. Of how do you say that word? Of whom? Listen, everyone has holes in the things that they know. H-E-W-N. In whom? Homestones. How do you say that? How do you say that? What is that? I actually don't know. Hey, it's never too late to learn, okay? Hewn? Hewn. Hewn. Chop or cut. Okay, well, now with that knowledge in hand, of hewn stones, the sacred circle where the wizard sages sat, let us try to remember all the times where they were at. So your thoughts, they are expecting assault and battery on the human anatomy. Assault and battery on the human anatomy, man. Is this a concept album? Assault and battery lyrics quote from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's poem, A Psalm of Life. Talking about the poem is meant to inspire its readers to live actively and neither to lament the past nor to take the future for granted. Okay, so let's go back to the lyrics with that in mind. Lives of great men all remind us we make our lives sublime. So looking at the lives of others and perhaps how others have used their lives to do great things, making sure that you do the best to live up to your life and the chance that you're given as well. And departing leave behind us footprints in the sands of time. Of course, there's footprints in the sands of time, paths where people have walked before us, and hopefully we either choose to follow in their footsteps if they were great people, or make our own paths and make our own footsteps. And then getting into the second part, the golden void. The golden void speaks to me, denying my reality. I lose my body, lose my mind, I blow like wind, flow like wine. Down a corridor of flame will I fly so high again? Is there something wrong with me? I cannot hear, I cannot see. So the question becomes, what is the golden void? That I do not know. Void, emptiness, there's nothing there. The golden void, I would assume this is like maybe emptying oneself, meditation, finding peace within himself. I lose my body, he loses his mind. He blows like wind, flows like wine. I'm getting like meditation, just kind of losing yourself in whatever this golden void is. So you think the time is past, the life you lead will always last. Chaotic fusions of your soul down below that rocky knoll. The wind flows through your watering eyes, the sounds are pitched to draw you in, or to draw you, on your never-ending journey, on the edge of time, on the edge of time, on the edge of time. Okay, well the song as a whole seems to be talking about time. The first part in not really wasting your time and making the best of it, and the second part perhaps getting lost in time? I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought of this song. You can join me on Twitter. You can join me in the comments down below. Give me some more Hawkwind songs. Give me like a good spacey one. Or one where the heavy elements really mix together with their more atmospheric elements, like in the second half. Golden Void, I liked it. The first half, Assault and Battery, I would love to know your thoughts though. Join me on Twitter. Join me in the comments down below if you've enjoyed the video. Like and share and subscribe, all that fun stuff. You know what to do. You can support the channel on Patreon, but you don't have to. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.